It's snowing here in Switzerland, guys. But nevertheless, it's time for summer shredding. Check out the weather here. Snowing, it's April, and I really don't like this weather. It's damn cold today. I need to wear my jacket, and today I want to talk about the deloading week and some other stuff about positive thinking, what I think about the book, The Secret, what parts are good of it, what parts are not so good of it. So we'll talk about it now. So what is a deload? A deload is, for me, the week where I have an active recovery phase. So usually the deload is followed after a loading phase. So I have my loading phase of 4 weeks, and the goal of the loading phase is to increase the weights for every workout and just to increase or improve the performance in the gym. That's what I did. And in the 5th week, it's all about, having an active recovery. And then you start deloading, meaning that I took now for the first workout 65 to 70% of my usual weights. I go up to 20 reps, so less intensity and not to failure, in order to have the active recovery. And the upcoming week, meaning the 6th week, will be again a loading phase, meaning from week 6 to week 10 I will start again improving the weight. So I start where I ended up after the first loading phase and start improving from there on until I have the second deload, which will be in week 11 then, right? So that's about the deload, and it's very important to do that if your goal is to improve your performance and your results in the gym, right? So what else going on? Body Power is approaching, looking really forward. First time for me in Birmingham. Curious to see there how it is. Make sure to be there and to say hi. And this upcoming weekend I will send another shape update. Shape again got better. That's also thanks to the deloading phase. And in the deloading phase it's also very important that you eat more. Increase the macros, because remember, you want to recover. You also progress in the deloading week, not only in the loading week. It's not always about having more and more weights and to train harder and harder and harder. It's about training smart. If your goal is to get at your best level you can, So let's talk about positive thinking. I'm a positive thinker, and I'm also a believer. I think positive thinking and a positive attitude is very important when it comes to long-term success in private life, in business, or in sports, right? So, and I know many of you read the book, The Secret. I also read the book like 4 years ago, and I really liked the book. And after this time, I must say, there are some things that I don't like about this book, because I think the one thing that gets missed in this book is realism. We can all be positive and have a positive attitude, but when we are not realistic, we tend to go beyond the limits, and this can lead to failure, right? So, like 3 years ago, I was in banking. I can tell you now my story, and I really liked banking, but I had a dream and a passion. That was fitness, becoming a fitness model and becoming a personal trainer, helping people to get healthier and fitter. That was my passion. And yeah, I was reading the book at that time, and then I started to think about my own business and to go after my dreams and to follow my passion. And that's what happened. I got self-employed. I left banking, and I really love my job. I love fitness. I love helping people, and I simply love to be a personal trainer. So, and yeah, positive thinking and the positive attitude helped a lot to get self-employed. But after a year, I found out that it's not only done with positive thinking, you also need to be realistic. So let me tell you, the realism about self-employment. Self-employment is much harder than when you're an employee, guys. You work much more than before. It's not just, okay, I can organize the day I want it, I will have more free time. This is not true. You work much more than before, and you need to be ready in terms of health, in terms of organization, many things. You will have much less time than before, and when you're not organized well and when you're not healthy, you're simply gonna miss it. So that's about realism. So imagine you're super positive and you tend to be too optimistic. You get self-employed, you open up your own business, and then you simply hit your head because you missed to be realistic. So the other thing about self-employment is to have enough financial resources. That's the other thing about realism. So you cannot, invest into your business with positive thinking and a positive attitude. You need to have the resources for that. That's the other thing. And when it comes to sport, when you're only positive, you tend to go beyond your limits. And what happens then is that you end up with an injury, or that you overwork yourself, meaning that you have a burnout. You can have a burnout in real life, and you can also have a sportive burnout. Sportive burnout is when you're in an overtraining state. When you're in an overtraining state, then you're not going to progress anymore and you will stay out of training for some time. And I think this is also when people don't know their limits. And when you tend to be too optimistic, you tend to miss your own limits, or you don't know your own limits because you're too much driven by your mind and the positive attitude and less by realism. So the message here is, don't just only think positive. Have a balance in between positive thinking, a positive attitude, and realism. And then do your thing, go out there and achieve great things. Right, and when you want to get self-employed and open up your own business, do it, but also be realistic about the things, right? Have a good mix of it. Right, so that was the next YouTube video. Make sure to stay connected. I will post a new update about my shape this upcoming weekend. I'm out for today. Make sure to like the video, subscribe here, and see you soon, guys. What's pumping YouTube? It's Laterza, and in this video I will be talking about weightlifting belts and lifting straps. So let's start with the weightlifting belt. So this is my personal weightlifting belt, you see.